right? My apologies for not having the YouTube feed earlier, as you guys were able to witness me just saying that I'm not even say accidentally, that I went braided my girlfriend and accidentally put my hands around her in a moment of anger, in something that was very unbecoming of my actions, my style, my credo, like everything that I stand for. Like you guys hear how much I talk about like women's rights and everything about women. I don't even like individuals that put their hands on women, and in a moment that I've never done before, like I did something that I consider completely despicable, and I pray for your forgiveness, and I beg for your forgiveness. And even if you don't want to be with me anymore, I fully understand that. I still hope you understand how deeply and regrettably sorry I am for what I've done. I don't know what happened to the Instagram feed, right? I really don't. But that doesn't mean that everything that I just said is completely on wax, and you guys will be able to hear this over and over and over again and be able to hold me accountable. If I ever become big time, this is probably going to be one of the most regrettable episodes I would ever have to put out there, but I guarantee you that this is going to make me a better man. I would never ever do some shit like that. I always say be water, and here I am acting like fire. Sometimes I need to act like my boy Lewis some more and stay a little bit more calm in scenarios. Like I have this perpetuity to blow up at times. Listen, I'm also getting understanding of some of my mental issues that I'm having right now. As I'm currently going through therapy, and they are revealing shit about me that I didn't quite know that I even had about me. Or I guess I don't know if I didn't know that I had or wasn't willing to accept. But I do know that I am fully fucked up in the head at this point in time, and I am seeking professional help. So, with that said, let's go ahead and continue on the podcast, right? I know there's no easy way, like, for you to segue from that, right? Like we're talking about like blue chewing and ass whoopings. The only way I know how to segue from that, since we talking about blue chew, let's talk about the team that got blew out and got their ass whooped. Yes, folks, we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets, folks. And I know it isn't often. It isn't often at all that I open the show up with Brooklyn Nets talk, right? Normally it's Knicks talk, that Knicks talk. You know we stay heavy with the Knicks talk, that Knicks talk. That's what we do here on the MyT Sports Podcast. Like, we're New Yorkers here. Like, we're original New Yorkers here. Right, like, and I'm not gonna cast aspersion against this Brooklyn Nets team, right? Because I hear a lot of people calling in and hating about them, right? And let me say this, right? Before I address all of the topics that I want to address about the Brooklyn Nets today, let me address something that I keep hearing from Brooklyn Nets fans, right? Or not even, I don't want to call them Brooklyn Nets fans. The other New Yorkers. I want to say a lot of them are Knicks fans. And I'm gonna address some Brooklyn Nets fans as well, but I want to say most of these individuals I'm probably addressing right now are Knicks fans. And let's address the Nets fans first, right? When Nets fans feel like they're on enough Brooklyn talk, Nets talk. They feel like the Nets don't get enough respect in the city, and then you have New York Knicks fans calling and talking and they're talking about how this team isn't exciting. And then Nets fans are complaining about why are Knicks fans hating. And I'm gonna try to find a way to beat a bridge here, right? I want to try to find a way to beat a bridge in this scenario, because I'm born and raised a Knicks fan, but I'm also born and raised in the borough of Brooklyn, right? And when the Brooklyn Nets went to when the Nets went to Brooklyn, I had to make a choice. Who I wanted for my team. And I made that choice, the New York Knicks. But I reserved a special spot in my heart for the Brooklyn Nets because I'm from Brooklyn. Anybody that knows me knows how Brooklyn I am when I talk about Brooklyn. Like, you understand? Like, I like to exude Brooklyn in almost everything I do, which sometimes could be to my detriment. But I am the BK borough. right? Even though I was born in the BX borough, I am the BK borough. Like fully statted. Fully statted, only once tatted, right? I am that. And even as a basketball fan, I guess the easiest way to say it is that I can see why there was a buzz for the New York Knicks, right? You can see why there was a buzz for the New York Knicks. And granted, a couple years ago, the New Jersey Nets were the New York Knicks. And even then they realized, you know what? I'm going to take my statement back. Because I want to say that Brooklyn Nets fans are a little bit too sensitive. That the reason that they're not getting the love and excitement that they want is because of how unorganic their team feels. And while we get into a point in time in sports and in basketball where player movement and player control is becoming more of the norm, it doesn't mean that a lot of fans still like it, right? Or it doesn't mean that it's going to... Wait, is my connected to my Wi-Fi? Yeah. Let me get off my Wi-Fi. I wonder it's going in and out. Right? I'm talking about for the Instagram feed. Like I don't even know why I was on my... I think I was on my Wi-Fi earlier to try to fuck with all my Google gear. There we go. Now we're good. And now we're back on YouTube. I mean Instagram. My bad, Instagram. Like, you guys missed my confession. And when you guys come back, I'm gonna say that again. That I had a confession that I had to make on the beginning of this podcast. And you guys are gonna... I'm not gonna re-say it. Maybe I will. I guess I should sometimes. Every once in a while. Just to show you how sorry I am. But I am gonna keep on referring to it throughout the podcast. We'll see how often I keep on saying this. Because I know the moment I say this, when anybody's in the podcast, I'm gonna have a lot of explaining to do. I'm gonna have a lot of explaining to do. From people that call me friends, from people that call me their boys, from people that I would say that even people that may ironically call me a role model. I'm gonna have a lot of explaining to do. I'm not ducking from any of that. Like, there's no real explanation or justification for what I did. It's not that it happened faster than you can think. And when people say that, like, whoa, like it happened so fast, like, yo, it happened so fast, like, I'm like, what the fuck? It's wrong. I always tell people, like, I'm a barbarian, and I kind of proved that today. But let's go back to the Brooklyn Nets and how they've been barbarically abusing the Bucks. Let's buck them down, right? But before we get there, like I said, like let's get back into some of these Knicks and Nets fans. So, this is weird, right? Because I'm gonna assume that if you're a Nets fan, right, this is a hot, like, you're happy for what your team is doing if you're a Nets fan. And if you're a Nets fan, like, you constantly keep wondering, why don't you get more respect in the city? And what I'm trying to tell Nets fans is that you're never gonna get the respect that you want in the city, right? A couple years ago, when you were doing what the Knicks are doing now, you're not gonna get that same buzz. You belong to a borough, not the city. I talked about this a couple weeks ago in the podcast. You guys didn't come out and be the New York Nets again. You guys decided to be the Brooklyn Nets. Right? So, you didn't force the city to divide their love for you. You forced one borough. Granted, it is the most rabid borough of them all. Just look at, you know what I mean, your boy right here, a.k.a., Brooklyn's favorite son. A.k.a. Mr. Work Hard, Smoke Harder, a.k.a. the Brooklyn Buzzsaw is what they call me. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Baritone. The Brooklyn Mouth of the South. The Brooklyn Dungeon Dragon. That's all me. So, I should, the Motor Mouth of the South or the Brooklyn Mouth of the South? I think the Motor Mouth of the South is better, right? I think that's what I'm going to start calling myself for my ring announcing name. It's either going to be Tony Baritone, but I don't think I have a deep enough voice to be called Tony Baritone. And plus, people know me as Talon. But I think I'm going to call myself Talon, the Motor Mouth of the South Taylor. Oh, yeah. I want to be an auctioneer. I ain't going to lie. That's how fast I'm like, yo, I told her, yo, you say, like, I want to do that shit for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could be good at that. So back to these Brooklyn Nets. I know I get so sidetracked, it's not even funny. Yeah, my doctor asked me today if I ever had ADHD, and I was like, not to my knowledge. Like, I had go out and play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was never diagnosed with ADHD. So, the Brooklyn Nets are now have a championship team. And Brooklyn Nets fans are still wondering, why don't you get more respect in the city? Why ain't you talked about more on national radio, on New York radio, more than anything, right? Local radio, I should say. Local New York radio. And I'm gonna tell you how this really plays out. Right, living in South Florida, consuming everywhere else, including New York. The Brooklyn Nets don't get a lot of love in New York, but they get that recognition and respect everywhere else. All of those adulations that Brooklyn Nets fans want, you're looking from your own city, which I get. Like, you want your big brother's approval. You want the approval of your household. You want moms and dad approval. I get that. But that's not going to happen here. Unfortunately, until you win a ring. Then you'll be recognized and scrutinized for how you put together this team to win that prize. Under the rule, Brooklyn Zoo, these are like bars for you. So, Nets are now in a position where they are starting to look dominant, right? They are completely looking dominant. And even I came on this airways and said that, you know what? And not even so much that I believed it, but it's the fact that it's like, you know what? This may be one of the better matchups for Brooklyn, because Giannis Antetokounmpo has been the only person that's been proven to be able to contest or even block Kevin Durant's jump shot. Well, I think that one time that Giannis Antetokounmpo blocked Kevin Durant's jump shot, I think it made Kevin Durant take that shit personally. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought the 49ers were only a football team. But if you was watching this game earlier, then you saw the Brooklyn Nets go ahead and blow out. And I mean completely blow out. From Ruta to Tutor, like the kind of ass whipping that your big brother used to give him when you broke his system. You understand? What's going on, Keyshawn? Welcome to the podcast. Phone lines are open. Right? This is the kind of ass whooping they gave. They gave you that big brother ass whooping. They gave them that. I thought I told you to bring your ass in this house before the street lights go off ass whooping. Right? They gave them the who the fuck you calling him or her ass whooping. Oh, she. You know what I mean? Like that's that kind of ass whooping. The Brooklyn Nets were beating the Bucks at one point in time by 49 points. And I'm telling you, I didn't even get the chance to see. I didn't get the chance to see this game live. I came back and I rewatched it. But I'm working. I'm doing deliveries. I'm driving. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to the game. And it's a funny thing when you're listening to games on radio, that a lot of times you hear the action, and I don't know if it was just me, if it was bad timing, if it was the actual production. But a lot of times I don't get a chance to hear the score while listening to games on the radio. And this may be the broadcaster working it so he can keep the action up and not really let you know what kind of game that we're having. Or maybe it's a ploy. And you know what? I'm just realizing this. When the game is close, you hear the score every other play. When it's a blowout, you hear nothing but action. I should have realized something was up when I heard nothing but action. And I was like, yo, I'm hearing this game. And I'm hearing Blake Griffin go off. And I'm hearing Kevin Durant go with the crossover and put Giannis Antetokounmpo on a motherfucking yo-yo before you cut the goddamn string. You understand? I'm seeing you do your thing. And then I hear the score. and it's like a 30, 40-point blowout. I'm like, yeah, damn! Like, this is the kind of performance Brooklyn is putting up? This is the kind of performance Brooklyn is, ass whooping that Brooklyn is handing out on Milwaukee without James Harden, who's probably going to be out again for Game 3? Like, these last two games, listen, I don't care what he says. KD this is, I'm talking about. But this shit looked personal. The way that Kevin Durant is going after Giannis, this shit looks personal. And I'm loving every bit of it, because while I didn't watch the game live, you know what I did? I went back and watched the replay. No commercials, no breaks. It's done like in an hour. Like, I don't know why I don't watch every game on the replay. It's because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for needing to watch things live. Like, I'm a sucker for needing to be in that moment, which I think we all need and want to be at times. Like, we all want to be in that moment. I'm an asshole. I did some despicable shit today. I'm sorry, baby. I wouldn't break this my girlfriend. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to live that for the rest of my fucking life. I'm telling you guys on the podcast so I can live it, so I can be held accountable for that shit for my whole fucking life. This shit will never ever happen again ever. I mean, like, oh my god. I'm gonna have to go to anger management. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm willing to go that far. But we gonna work that shit out. I swear to God. Like, if we can, we gonna work that shit out, and I guarantee I'll be better. Just like the Milwaukee Bucks need to be better, because if they're gonna have any chance to beat the Brooklyn Nets, who we wondered how their chemistry was gonna look. We wondered about their defense. We wondered about their health. And out of the three things I just mentioned, the only thing that you need to be concerned about is their health. And we mean the health of everybody, right? The health of Kyrie Irving, who has had a lingering knee problem ever since college. Right? The health of Blake Griffin, who, yo, he's balling. Now, granted, now I know he only had 7 points. Don't let those only 7 points fool you in this last game. Like, Blake Griffin is the reason why. And let me rephrase by, let me just understand that when I'm saying that he's balling. Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin, Balake is making a difference on a championship contending team. Blake Griffin, that, in my opinion, this is the time I really wish the people was here. Actually, you know what? This opinion causes for something a little bit stronger. Blake Griffin, that, in my opinion, that if he was playing with John Stockton his whole career, he would have been the number 2 leading scorer in NBA history. Cheers to that. And I seen Stephen A. Smith's top 5 point guard list recently. And I have a problem with one person and one person only. We're gonna see if we have time to talk about that. I just wrote that down. We're gonna see if we have time to talk about these top 5 point guards in the league of all time that Stephen A. has. And I ain't gonna lie to you, there's only one person. Only one person I'm switching out. And I already gave you the name today of the individual that I'm switching him out for when it comes to legendary point guards. So the the Brooklyn Nets. Like I said, there's only three things that you're worried about when it comes to them. To bring it back for you guys, I may have gotten lost. I know sometimes you'll be like, yeah, that's right, that's what we were talking about. I know, I got you. Is their defense, their offense, and their health. Let's just call it because you said, oh, their continuity and you know their chemistry and familiarity. Like that is just different ways to say the offense. Is the offense gonna click? And the offense clicks. Like it click 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 click. Like you're trying to find something to watch at 1:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday when there's no sports. Like that kind of clicking. Back in the day when we flip through channels, if you know what I'm saying. I come from a flipping channel era. I come from an actual clicking channel where we used to have to actually turn the dial on that motherfucker. Click 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 click. You only had like 7 of those motherfuckers. They had them all labeled too. It's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And after that, I don't remember any other channels. So I remember those 8 channels in my history. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. I think they had a channel 8. Maybe. But those are definitely the channels I remembered. But, listen. There's a story that came out earlier this week, right? Between J. Will and Kevin Durant. About J. Will going to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant coming up to J. Will in a party and be like, yo, don't you ever compare me to Giannis after J. Will made a story that, yo, if you ever had a baby between like Shaq and KD or whatever the fuck it was, you'll get Giannis. KD comes out and attacks J. Will, calls him a liar and all this other stuff, saying he never said it. But I'm telling you right this. You know what's so funny, right? If we have to do the court of public appeal, right? Or public opinion. Like KD already starts off at a disadvantage in this, right? Like people already feel some type of way about KD. That he like you know what I mean? He's sensitive. He doesn't want to tell the truth all the time. You know what I mean? Like he has burner accounts. I even listen to a lot of Kevin Durant's interviews, right? He kind of goes back and forth. Like he compliments people and he disses them at the same time. Like he has gone out of his way to compliment, obviously, his opponents and Giannis. You have to really listen when being interviewed. Now Kevin Durant has come out and said that what J. Will has said is untrue. Now KD, like I said, he starts with that disadvantage. And J. Will, for the most part, like we like his look, we like his smile. He has always come off as a very approachable human being, right? And I think that people have a soft spot in their heart for him because of his story and his injuries in the NBA. And they root for him now in his post career at times. I feel like. So automatically the scales aren't the same. But then when you take in their history, right? Or the history a lot of history, and a lot of it is what I just told you. And you really start to weigh, but like, okay, who do we believe more? I think most people are more inclined to believe J. Will than they are to believe Kevin Durant. And the funny thing here is that Kevin Durant's play actually backs up J. Will's story. Like, and granted, hey, it could just be them getting that narrative that they want. You know what I mean? It could really just help J. Will play into that narrative. Like, it just looks like that. Because it really looks like Kevin Durant is taking this personally. When Giannis is on him, I see him be aggressive. Which you should be when a guy like Giannis is on you. And you consider yourself the second best player in the world. Or the best player in the world. Right? Like, you should be offended. You should want to take it to Giannis. You and him the same size. Like, what he got over you except for a little bit more muscles? He don't got your J. Like, it reminds me when I used to play against my homeboy, not Rollout, Bowers. Know what I mean? Like, he ain't got your J. He don't got your handles. Like, he may got more ups than you. He may be a little bit more athletic than you. But he don't got your cerebralness. He don't know how to get off his shots. You know what I mean? Work the post, work well. You know what I mean? Work the post, work the pick and pop. You know what I mean? Kevin Durant got the ball at the top of the key, and Giannis Antetokounmpo was closing out hard. Gave him a little pass fake. Threw off his momentum, then went the opposite direction. Took a couple of hard dribbles and went at the rim hard. Now, granted, he drew the foul there, but I'm gonna tell you, there was no foul on that play. There was no foul on that play. Kevin Durant just lost the ball, but he drove to the. He took it to Giannis. Took on the second defender, that was the center that can't even jump over him, because Brooklyn Nets aren't really playing the center. They got Kevin Durant doing the jump balls. They're playing Blake Griffin with him. And it's working. 49-point blowout. Like, you understand, like, with a 49-point blowout, like, there's a dude in the Rucker right now talking about, oh, baby! Oh, baby! 49-point blowout. Like this is what he's doing to Giannis. He's isoing Giannis. Crossing over to the left. Crossing over to the right. Crossing over to the left. Giving him a move. Giving a hezzy. Pull back jumper. What's Giannis doing? You know what he's doing? He's doing his best Nick Cannon impersonation. Just roll, bouncing all over the place. Just roll, bouncing all over the place. And can I say to the point where he's taking it personally, but he's also toying with Giannis. Like, you can see the basketball IQ difference in a sense, right? Like if I had to compare two players, right, of similar heights and similar sizes, right, I would say that Giannis Antetokounmpo is to Kevin Durant to what Russell Westbrook is to James Harden. Like, that is the difference. That is really the difference that we have here. That a couple of these guys are genetic, athletic freaks, as he calls himself. Rightfully so. Freaks of nature. God, I can't get that image out of my head. I'm so fucking sorry. Damn. If I can't shake that image, I can only imagine how you feel. I am so sorry. I guarantee you from here on out, I won't even come close to you anymore if I'm feeling that enraged. Like, I am literally gonna go walk away. And if you stick with this, I'm gonna ask you, if I ever get to the point you see me start to walk away, to do not pursue. Because I am trying my best to cool down before I run or test the situation. And I didn't run or test her. I Wayne braided my girlfriend. And I'm very regrettably sorry. Like, fuck. And even the fact that oh man. I'm so fucking disgusted. But not only my behaviors, but also by the play of the Milwaukee Bucks and allowing themselves to continuously be blown out this bad. Because when this matchup occurred, this was basically deemed the matchup that you want to see in the Eastern Conference Championship. This was deemed the matchup that you want to get for your championship series. And not where we're getting it now. And to be honest with you, if this is the kind of series that we're going to get, we might as well get it out the way now. Now, I know Brooklyn Nets is doing what Brooklyn does. And they're being mad disrespectful to the game, B, because people from Brooklyn, they're just mad disrespectful. Like, damn, I'm sorry. I was reminiscing to something my mother just told me earlier today, too. So, the Brooklyn Nets, they're treating this, they treated this whole regular season disrespectful. And then you see them coming together finally in the postseason and playing. And then you see them disrespecting all of these teams that they play. Like, Boston was lucky to get off a win or two, a win or so. We'll be like, it's gonna look like Milwaukee's gonna be lucky if they squeak out a win. Now, I'm saying that now. And if you're a basketball fan, you've seen this before. This is such a weird thing, right? But it's so hard to unsee, right? Once you've seen it. Anytime you see a team get blown out this bad or get beat this bad for 2 games, it really makes you wonder every single time, how can they win the next couple of games on the road? How is that even possible? How are they going to do it? And yet, these series go to 6 and 7 games so often because the away team answers, goes back home for these 2 games, and they get 2 victories. Their home crowd gets behind them. They get that extra energy, that extra boost, that extra motivation, that extra concentration. And they get it done. But I'm telling you, and I've said this before, we've looked at these scenarios before, but I'm going to say this again. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know how Brooklyn is going to be beat. I told you earlier, talking about Brooklyn this and Brooklyn that. Keep talking about Brooklyn, we gonna come out your head with a Brooklyn bat. Because Brooklyn is where it's at. And they're gonna win a chip this year. We've held them accountable to it. No longer can you allow a season to be wasted. We talk about this all the time on the podcast. I'm sorry, you heard me repeating myself, baby boy. I'm wildin'. Right? As the game, listen, we have no games on right now because the only game on is a game tonight at 9:30 between the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. And we'll talk about that series in just a little bit, and we'll let you know who's up in that series. As a whole first, listen, you guys already know how I am. Like, my whole first hour, I can easily talk. I can easily say one topic. I didn't spend the whole time spending one topic. I spent a good half an hour consistent earlier in the podcast. You guys go on and listen. I did a despicable thing, and I put hands on my girlfriend and put my hands around her neck in a very heated situation, and I am really trying to determine how the fuck I'm gonna keep coping with myself with that on my conscience. So now here we are. Brooklyn Nets up 2-0. They play game 3 in Milwaukee tomorrow. And this is going to be a must win for Milwaukee. It really is. Like, we just saw it. Like, it has to be. It is a must win because there is
a reminder for Talon.
There is no way possible that the Milwaukee Bucks come back from a 3-0 deficit against the Brooklyn Nets. I'm telling you right now, there's no way possible. I know a lot of you like to think that
anybody can be beat.
You're right. Anybody can be beat. And I know that you think, that
anything's possible.
right? And I know that you guys in Milwaukee, that you guys want to keep a silver lining, and you basketball fans, you know, that want to see a good series, that you're hoping and you're wishing that there's a 1% opportunity or 1% chance that you're able to win this game. But I'm telling you,
So you're telling me there's a chance?
no, I'm not. And I just seen Chill Will sneak into the room. So after we do our 21 light salute, right, where we flick our light 7 times for everybody that has been affected by COVID, whether that be negatively, positively, or whether you were the demise of your own destruction, right? We are gonna flick our lights for 7 times for everybody that has been affected by COVID-19, and then we'll bring Chill Will into the talk, and then we're gonna have our Knicks talking just a little bit after that. Alrighty, folks. So here we go. That is 1. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is 7. What's going on? And again, that is our 21. That's our 21 light salute for everybody that has been affected during COVID-19, and that was started by our very well co-host. Yep. I hear Chill out there. And that was started by our co-host, the 21 Mark Salute that we talked about here. That isn't here today because today is his lovely wife's birthday. Again, happy birthday, Terry. And then let's bring Chill Will into the room.
Drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you? Sir, yes, sir! Well, if you're gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously. Cleveland! This is for you!
What's going on, Chill Will?
What's good, big dog?
I was like, you ain't gonna catch me this time.
Scene.
You ain't gonna let me do the muscle memory and start talking automatically again. And it's your time now.
Man, I was gonna see what you was gonna do, man. I guess you're gonna take it again.
We both pausing right there,
Wait
like
your turn. You the kid I gotta put in the back of the line. You the kid in kindergarten. I gotta put your ass in the back of the line because he can't wait his turn. Now you gonna get in the back.
It's okay though, but when
He's
my
gonna
turn,
take all the applesauce.
I'm the kid that you put last in the debate because when I talk, like, yeah, it's a show.
Nah, man, what's good, big dog?
Everything's good. Man, like, listen, I see. Your state is making some news today. Your state has been making some news over these last couple of days. You know, since
The Buckeyes? Or what are you talking about?
listen, we're talking about your king and your professional football team. Let's go ahead and dive into that.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Story came out as I was getting ready for the podcast that the Cleveland Browns chief of staff was suspended today for a DUI.
Oh, come on, man. This ain't no news.
This is NFL news.
This ain't better than the Buckeyes having the best recruiting class in the nation.
Is that what happened? I didn't see.
I mean, right now it's looking like that.
Okay. I listen, hey, let's go ahead and give them a respect. Now, are you able to elaborate on that a little bit more for us? On who they've able to
Man, we just
acquire?
get the number. We would just, I mean, you don't even, I mean, it's hard to elaborate if you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna just leave it at, hey, we got the best wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers. We got the best quarterback. We got, a couple of linemen. You know what I'm saying? Got actually 2 wide receivers, defensive end. We just stacking like we normally do. About to get down and go down. That's all. It's about to happen. Other than that, man, DUI, man, who cares about that, man? She's just because she's the only lady. She fucking up for all the women that's in the.
Oh,
in the
that
league,
was the woman
possibly
chief of
in the
staff?
league.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No, damn it.
she-
Well, you know what
she a
though?
woman.
Like, listen, thank God. You know what though? Because hey, women drink and drive too.
You're right.
You know what I mean? But you're right though. Like, I'm hoping it doesn't. But it is gonna it may put a stain on this. But these are one of those stains. Like, if you're one of the guys in this scenario, right? Like, is that like this isn't one of the reasons why you not hire a woman like candidate in that position. Like to me, this kind of makes her more one of the boys now. Like, oh, you got a DUI too? Welcome to the club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you ever met her, it ain't no question she's one of the boys. If you ever seen the woman,
But you know what I mean?
she's
Like,
definitely one of the boys.
like she
We know
didn't,
this.
like she didn't get suspended for like something that could be classified as a woman-related issue. Like it wasn't like a woman sex. It wasn't like a sex scandal. It wasn't harassment. It wasn't. The different plenty of different ways that women can be isolated and used as and be portrayed scandalously in that environment. Like it wasn't something that could be just circle and be like, oh, this is a woman problem and this is why we can't have women in this position. Like, nah. Like I feel like every year we get one of your fucking execs out for a DUI, and we just had the owner of the Indianapolis Colts a couple of years ago that had a DUI. So, like, and that's really why I wanted to bring it up. That's really why I wanted to.
Hey, ladies.
Where the ladies at? Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta send a woman to a man's job.
See, flipped it on him. Is that let's not let her get, scrutinized and make this seem like, oh, that this is why you can't have women in this position. Like, no. This happens to every single person. And believe it or not, this is even a problem that your military folks have. Like, you understand, we are riddled with DUIs because we can't do drugs in the military. So,
Excuse me?
we're not allowed to do drugs. But we do drugs in the military, but we're not allowed to do drugs. So, you get a lot of DUI cases in the military versus drug cases. Like, you get a lot more people that, trust me, I knew a lot more people that did ecstasy and cocaine, you know what I mean, because of how fast it got out your system, than I knew that smoked weed.
Right, exactly. Mushrooms.
Yeah, shit like
cocaine,
that.
coke,
Yeah, that can get out of your
pills,
system in 72 hours. You understand? It was like I even used to joke about this with athletes, that why was it always athletes, like for the most part, it was mainly black athletes always popping up on these drug on the drug list. But that's also because the only thing that they were really being caught for was fucking weed, right? And that's because all these other people that did alternative shit. And let's be honest, like, we do know more people of the Caucasian persuasion that does cocaine and mushrooms and shit like that. And when they're doing these drugs that are only in your system for 2-3 days, they're able to get away with it while they're watching those all those black athletes be dumbasses and be potheads and fuck up their career. Like, yo, you need to get on this 2-day shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's like,
Absolutely.
he's like, listen, I did cocaine before the game. Listen, look how many, I had 8 catches. you know, well, smoke a fucking Tom Amendola ass, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So like, I just didn't want her to get like, as we learn more about the scenario, I definitely don't want her to get any scrutiny on it for being isolated as a woman. Nah, this is just kind of who we are as America. Like, America is a society of DUIs. I feel like we're alcoholics as America. Like, we're undercover drug users and upfront alcoholics. That's what we are in America. But in Germany, there's alcoholics and they deal with it. So,
Yeah.
now that we're talking about dealing with a bunch of things, let me go ahead and bring in something that I am very happy to be talking about today. And, oh, excuse me, shit. My bad. Had a little bit of gas. I listen, that scotch that I'm drinking, whiskey. Like, listen, that shit is hidden. That shit is hidden. It's hidden real nice. I tried a new one today. It's called Black Eagle. Like, Black Eagle bourbon whiskey. Like, I saw this motherfucking bottle, and I was like, you know what? Let me try this shit. Right? This shit, like, unfortunately for this one, this is only aged for 3 years. So I'm gonna have to go look for something a little bit sooner, so comparing it to some other ones to start seeing like what the age is going to be on, what the age looks like on some of these whiskeys. But listen, I like it, but I feel like it also could be smoother and that I can do better. And you know where I can't do better at? Yeah, folks, it's time for that Knicks talk. You know I stay with that Knicks talk. Yeah, folks, we're bringing you Knicks Talk in the second hour of the podcast. And the only reason why I have Knicks Talk today, Chill Will, is because I'm happy. I am fully happy now with my Knicks season. You know, like, I was a little disappointed with how the season ended as a Knicks fan. And then the Phoenix Suns represented for the orange team, and they went ahead and they eliminated LeBron James. And that allowed for some of the burden and the weight of the Knicks loss able to wash away, right? Then I happened to see that the Philadelphia 76ers go ahead and take care of business and go ahead and get that second win, even though they split home against Atlanta. But you know what was the icing on the cake for me today? You know what the icing on the cake for me today? Is that for a team with a lot of off-season moves to make, that my team actually was able to get a little boost to start off their postseason. And that boost came from very first, Julius Randle getting voted most improved player of the year, folks. He got 98 first ballot votes on this, and only one second place vote, for a total of 495 points, blowing out every, and I do mean every other competitor for this award. It wasn't even close. You understand? Julius Randle was first with 493. 98 first ballot votes, just to let you know. The only other person to get any first ballot points on votes was Jeremy Grant from Detroit with 2. You understand? Even RJ Barrett got a vote for most improved player. Just to let you guys know. The New York Knicks was doing well out there. Shout out to Zach LaVine. You know what I mean? We already know how KJ has a crush on Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine got a couple of votes. No first place votes. A couple of second place votes. A couple of third place votes. But that's about it. So here we are, folks. 2 players from the New York Knicks that got voted for most improved player. Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. And yes, to answer your question, if RJ Barrett got votes for most improved player, did Zion Williamson also get votes for most improved player? Yes, he did. But I'm gonna tell you this though, he didn't get any more votes than RJ Barrett. It was just that Zion Williamson got 2 second place votes and RJ Barrett got 2 third place votes. And as far as the other young rookie, our second year player that we all know and love, right? The guy in Memphis? No, he didn't get any votes. I'm not lying. I am not lying. He didn't get not one most improved player vote. But you know who did, ironically? Lonzo Ball from New Orleans did. And I'm glad I'm only saying names that are relevant to Knicks fans. So keep this up, because that shows that he can improve and that he may be willing to be coached up, especially in a bigger market. So here I am happy now. Julius Randle, most improved player. But what really got me happy, and before I go full on here, right? What really got me happy was the thing that we sat here and we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Was the fact that I just wanted respect. Just respect put on Julius Randle's name. That I wasn't happy with Julius Randle just winning most improved player. I expected him to do that. What I was upset about weeks ago was the fact that Julius Randle wasn't being talked about for MVP. When if guys, like I said, like Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, or Kawhi Leonard had done what Julius Randle was doing with that New York Knicks team, they would have tossed his salad all the way to the point where they would have had half of America convinced that he was an MVP. And that's all I was talking about. Because I was like, it would be disrespectful if he didn't just get at least just one motherfucking MVP vote for what he's doing in New York. Because if any one of the guys that I just mentioned had done this in New York, they would have talked about them all season as an MVP. Yes, Kawhi Leonard, if he would have improved the Knicks record by 20 games, you would have talked about him as MVP. If LeBron James had done this with the New York Knicks, it would have been a lock that he is MVP. If James Harden would have done this with the New York Knicks, you would have talked about him all year as MVP. Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook, all of them. You would have talked about all year for MVP. Not just consideration, not just a vote, not just an honorable mention, but MVP. And guess what? Julius Randle got more votes than all of them for MVP. He got more votes than Rudy Gobert for MVP, who just won Defensive Player of the Year. He got beat for Russell Westbrook for MVP, who put up another triple-double for the third time in his career. You got Ben Simmons, who he beat out for MVP, who stayed healthy for a whole year. We got James Harden, who he beat out for MVP, who until he got this hamstring injury, he probably would have stuck it and got a couple more votes. He beat LeBron. He got more votes than LeBron James for MVP. And we already know that LeBron James is the generous king with the bling. And Kawhi Leonard, the claw he beat out for MVP, he got more votes than. Not only did Julius Randle beat all of those guys out I just mentioned for MVP votes, Rudy Gobert, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Rose also beat out all of those players for MVP votes. Now, let me add on to the Derrick Rose one. There's an asterisk there. Derrick Rose has more points than Rudy Gobert, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard. Julius Randle has more votes and more points than all of the individuals I just mentioned. So Julius Randle ended up with just 11 votes. One third round vote, one third place vote, two fourth place votes, and 9 fifth place votes. That got him a total of 20 points total for MVP. Derrick Rose got 1 first place vote, which was the consensus fan vote. That got him an automatic 10 points. Just for that. Rudy Gobert comes in with 6 votes and 8 points. Russell Westbrook comes in with 1 vote. Ben Simmons gets 1 vote. James Harden gets 1 vote, a 5th place vote. LeBron James gets a 5th place vote. Kawhi Leonard gets 1 5th place vote as well. This is why I'm happy. So clap along if you feel that happiness is the truth. Because this is why I'm happy. So clap along if you feel that a room without a roof. This is why I'm happy. Clap along if you know that Julius Randle got an MVP vote. This is why I'm happy. Because Julius Randle got his respect. I didn't think Julius Randle was an MVP at all this season. But when I compared it to his contemporaries, the other individuals, some of these other stars in the league, and I compared it to the change in the New York Knicks record, if all of these other individuals had done what Julius Randle did, there would have been a bigger race for MVP. Instead, this was a blowout.
Stop it, man. I'm sitting here listening to this shit, and it's horrible.
What do I need to stop, Chill, Will? What do I need to stop?
Because you're doing it again, man. There's no comparison. He's a second-rate. He's like a B. He's like a B movie player.
I'm not doing anything.
And he had one good movie. He's like a B movie actor with one good movie, and you want him to get the Oscar.
So
you want to give him.
What did I say? Will, did you not hear the part where I said I didn't think he was an MVP. I just wanted him to get his respect. Because
Who you talking to? Because earlier this
like
year.
I said, and listen, this has always been, no, I'm not really changing what I said. This has always really been my position. I just wanted to hear his name in the talk. I just wanted him to get a vote. I wanted him, when they talked about all of these guys for MVP, I wanted him to get an honorable mention. And that's what I was upset about. That he didn't even get an honorable mention for MVP. That his name didn't even get talked about. And like I said, because if this was Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, that did what he had done with the New York Knicks, then Nikolai Jokic wouldn't have gotten 91 first place votes. That wouldn't have been the case. If Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard had done this, they would have won MVP this year. That's all I'm saying. So if they would have won MVP, or if all year long they would have tossed their salad like it was their mama's macaroni, right? Like, I just wanted him to get his respect. And what I'm seeing today is that Julius Randle got his respect. He got 1 third place vote for MVP, 2 fourth place votes for MVP, and 9 fifth place votes for MVP. He got 13 votes for MVP this year, and I am happy now. I can rest this point, to be honest with you, in peace. I'm content. This is all I wanted. Was that when you talked about... Oh, it's the Munchkin in. How you doing, Munchkin in? My Munchkin has arrived. I haven't seen Munchkin in so long. She's been finishing up school and all this other great stuff. So now the Munchkin is done with school. What's up, sis? How you doing? You happy school is out? No. Munchkin, you happy school is out? No. At least we got a unanimous vote. Why? So why am I the only one happy that school is out? No. But Munchkin may have to sleep with you still. I may sleep in the other room. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go sleep in the other room. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna sleep in the other room. Come here, kiddo. Come here. Hurry up. Run. Double time. Oh, okay. Then take your time so you don't fall down the stairs. Why didn't you take your shoe off?
Because you called me.
You got older since the last time I saw you. Yes, you did.
No.
I can even hear your voice cracking. Anybody else told you your voice been cracking? No? Your voice is starting to crack. How you doing?
Good.
How was school?
Good.
Did you pass all your tests? Did you make honors?
What's that?
Honors, like honor roll. You did?
You saw, and he was like...
You saw me?
And they were like, whose dad is that?
You know what's so funny?
They were laughing at you.
Because, and like, why would they ask whose dad is that? Because on the screen, I put MyT Uncle, I think. So it actually...
Yeah, my teacher was like, who's team uncle?
You know, as soon as she said that, it was me? Did you say, oh, that's me? That's my uncle? What did you do when she said that?
I said, that's my uncle.
I was like, yeah.
And then somebody was like, get it, I guess.
Yeah,
And they were mocking you.
Like, yeah, woo, woo. Because you
And your Wi-Fi was lagging, so it was like...
Because I was driving when I was doing it.
I know.
Yes. You noticed? How do you know? Oh, because I turned the screen around to show you guys I was driving eventually. Yeah, because I was like, let me at least show them I'm driving so they don't realize I'm not here being a crash. I should have left the background in. Like the regular background so you can see all the stuff passing by me and realize why I was so distracted while trying to get everything set up. So proud of you, kiddo. High fives. High fives. High fives. Hey, get in here. Give me a hug. Okay. So figure out what stock you want. Okay.
Okay.
And then, because I created your new account. So I created your new account. So you no longer have an account. Do you know where your old account was at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your old account used to be with Ally. Your new account is with Fidelity. Remember this stuff. Because if you ever need to find your money in case something happens to me and I haven't given it to you yet, you have to remember what bank is. Like, oh my God, where Uncle Junior say all my money was at?
Isn't it a login? Don't you have to log
No,
in?
like, listen, semantics. More importantly, you need to know where your money is at. All that other stuff, you can get them to figure it out if you ever call them, but you need to know who to call. So where's your money at?
Fidelity.
Oh, I did say it. Okay, high five. So I've created a new account at Fidelity. So we have your new kitty account at Fidelity, and now that account gives me tax breaks. Yeah, I'm recording everywhere. Everybody's hearing our business. You know we have no secrets now when the podcast starts. That's the problem. Uncle Junior was a bad boy.
The podcast.
I got into
lonely.
I got into an argument with because you know what? It's Mark's wife's birthday today, and then as we know, KJ's always late, and then Shada is staying away from me because I was being mean to her.
Of course you were. You're mean to everybody.
I'm not mean to everybody. I got really angry and mean and
That happens all the time.
and I did something I should have never have done.
Of course you do.
Stop it. Yeah, I deserve a flick. I deserve another one. I was really an asshole. I'm really sorry. I don't know if I'm gonna have a girlfriend after this.
You probably won't.
I probably won't. I really fucked up. You know who Wayne Brady is?
No,
I had a Wayne Brady moment.
I don't know about it.
Alright, kiddo. So yeah, so you're gonna have to sleep with grandma because of my bad behavior. I'm sleeping in the other room to punish myself.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Don't let the roach get to you.
Alright, I won't. I'm about to bring my Xbox in the other room though. Love you, kiddo. Alright. I'm gonna try to make it right.
It will never be better.
I know. I'm gonna have to try so hard. Alright, kid. Good night. Alright, kiddo. So you guys just got me a little visit from my munchkin. Yeah, listen. I try to be an open book. I try to share. I feel like when you keep secrets, then you don't, and you're unable to hold yourself accountable sometimes. And when you're able to talk about the shit that you do, then hey, you would hold yourself accountable. And I'm trying to hold myself accountable right now. I know you heard that shit. All right, people. So let's get back into this Knicks talk. Because we got that Knicks talk. So I know we paused it, but can you please give me back my Flames of Fame? There we go. Alrighty, because we stay with that Knicks talk. The second hour of the podcast, we're gonna give you that Knicks talk that you always want. And in case you missed it in the first hour of the podcast, we already gave you our Blue Chew code, folks, because today is National Sex Day. So that Blue Chew code came early, but I'll give it to you guys again. That Blue Chew code, in case you guys need it, is MDUT. Because remember, Blue Chew is that little blue pill that has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. She's gonna love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. Just chew it and do it. And if you use the promo code MDUT, that's M as in Mike, D as in Delta, U as in Uniform, T as in Tango, you'll get $20 off your first order. And let me break it down a little bit further for you so you can understand what I'm really trying to say. I'm going to kick a little bit of flavor in your ear so you can get your junk in gear. $20 off your first order is basically you getting your first order for free. All you got to do is pay for shipping and handle it. Get a pack, chew it, and then do it. I'm saying. You keep on that light where you do it right. You can just say MyT. Woo! Keep that light going. yourself an order today. Use that promo code MDUT. Now let's get back to that Knicks talk. You know we stay with that Knicks talk. I told you all the different ways that I've been happy today. Right? Julius Randle winning most improved player, 98 votes. 1 second vote, 495 points. And then Julius Randle also got a couple of MVP votes, folks. 1/3, 2/4, and 9/5. So, and he landed 8th in MVP voting, folks. And if you want to know the significance of that 8th spot, that was more votes than Rudy Gobert, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard. So that goes to show you that if Julius Randle keeps up this pace of play, he is on pace to be better than all of those guys. Now I'm talking out my ass, Chill Will. Now would be the perfect time for you to interject. But he's just better than them this year when it comes to the voting. If you ever had to ask me, do I think that Julius Randle's better than Rudy Gobert, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard? No. But he was the MVP for his team this year. And in the 9th spot of voting this year was Derrick Rose for the New York Knicks as he brought in the fan votes, folks. Yes, he was able to tug at those heartstrings. Now, in a shocking turn of events, before we lose the Instagram feed, we have the Coach of the Year. Something happened that's never happened before. As we slowly get the Instagram feed now back with us. Now, what ended up happening was that, again, as a Knicks fan, my prayers were answered this year. And I'm going to say, as a Knicks fan this year, all of my prayers were answered. All of my predictions were upheld. All of my expectations were met. And some of them were even exceeded. But this is one that was gifted to us. And you know what? I'm happy. Because you know what? The Coach of the Year came out. And I honestly thought the Coach of the Year had already been determined. But au contraire, mon frere, it had not been. It was not determined. There was not a Coach of the Year out yet. And then, even when I didn't know when there was a Coach of the Year quite yet, I honestly thought that the Coach of the Year was going to go to Monty Williams. I honestly, yes. Oh shit, that's our game starting, folks. Let's go ahead and start getting that game up, getting the game up in the background for the last hour and a half of the podcast. Yes, folks, we will have on the Phoenix and Denver game as we are talking about Phoenix's coaches, Phoenix Suns head coach Monty Williams, and how some people may think he got robbed for Coach of the Year. Now, this is one of those things that only could be explained in the same sense as how Donald Trump won the election, where he didn't get the majority of the votes, but he just happened to get all of the points that matter. Like, I hope that does it justice. Whereas I'm about to try to explain to you guys what happened here. Tom Thibodeau didn't come away with the most first place votes. No, that was Monty Williams with 45. Tom Thibodeau had 43. But what ended up happening is that Tom Thibodeau ended up coming away with more points than Monty Williams, so that Tom Thibodeau could become your Coach of the Year. So folks, I'm happy. Like, you know what I need right now? You know what I need to get? I need to get that Plies drop. Natalie knows what I'm talking about, my sensei. I'm happy. You big man. I'm happy over here. I got most improved player. I got 9 votes for MVP. I won coach of the year. I'm happy. So to help break it down for you guys so you can understand a little bit further, Monty Williams got 45 first place votes. Then he got 32, which is worth 5 points each. Then he got 32 second place votes, which are worth 3 points each. And then he got 19 third place points, which are worth 1 point apiece. Now Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the New York Knicks, and your 2020-2021 Coach of the Year, practicing for my June 26th Platinum Pro Wrestling event. But Tom Thibodeau, 43 first place points, 42 second place votes. Sorry, 43 first place votes, 42 second place votes, and 10 third place votes to put him with a score of 351 over Monty Williams that had a score of 340. So folks, the basketball gods repaid me. The sports god answered my prayers, and not only they gave me the respect that I wanted on our name, they also gave me a cherry on top by giving us that Coach of the Year, folks. And I could not be happier. This is all I've wanted for my Knicks. This is one of the things that I'm happy to see. This is one of the things that I really and truly have hoped for. Because in this year, what the New York Knicks have done in 1 year, they built a culture. In that culture already, they built a winning system. They have showed that if you buy into the system, that you can improve. Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Alex Burke, Reggie Bullock. Just saying. Nerlens, whatever his name is. Nerlinson Noel, whatever the fuck his name is. Right? That you can improve in this system. So now and then they show that, yo, you have the coach. You have a coach. You have the coaching now. So now, if you're a player in the NBA, like remember back in the day when Tom Thibodeau was the coach of Chicago and Carmelo Anthony was trying to determine if he wanted to stay with New York or if he wanted to go to that if he wanted to re-sign with New York. I remember Joakim Noah came to him and was like, because he was trying to recruit people and was like, nah, if you really want to win, you need to come here. We're at that point now. If you bought that life, right? If you're not a prima donna, right? If you're tired of your general manager, you know what I mean? Dancing in the background of all of your fucking interviews. You know what I mean? If you're tired of your owner, you know, always making that. Actually, let's leave owners out of this. Right? Come holler at us. If you really ready to be coach, if you want a good coach, if you're ready to play defense, if you want to win a system, you come play for the Knicks. Because they waited for it. They waited for it. But you know what's funny? Right? I told you we got all of these votes, right? And about the Coach of the Year. Let me break down the Coach of the Year votes for you. Tom Thibodeau, number 1, Coach of the Year. We just turned on the game. Right now it's Phoenix Suns 15, Denver Nuggets 12. 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Chris Paul bringing the ball up on the left wing, brings it up to the middle, makes a bounce pass into Aiden as he gets himself another chippy, folks. And I've been wanting to say this. Listen, I have this written down on my notes. The shooting percentage of DeAndre Ayton this playoffs is impressive. And if for somehow, some way, the Phoenix Suns win a championship and or make it to the Western Conference Championship, he needs to get as much respect put on his name. Or he should be, I'm taking that back. He should be given he should be given a more praise than he's given out. He should be given, I don't want to say comparable praise to Devin Booker or Chris Paul, to be honest with you. But when they talk about what Chris Paul has done for this team and what Devin Booker has been doing for this team, they need to also add in what DeAndre Ayton has also done for this team as well. Because I know that he has taken steroids, which has helped him stay healthy when it comes to the banging. But that doesn't change his shooting percentage. When he's doing chippies and he's getting a bounce pass inside of the lane and he's making his hook shot. He's just being real efficient. We've seen him now outplay the Brow, who's gonna keep his number. I'm forgetting his name, to be honest with you. Anthony Davis. He outplayed him this postseason, and now you see him taking on Denver's big man. And we can outplay him too. Not only outplay these big men, right, on offense and with shooting percentage, but being big enough, strong enough, firm enough in your foundation, and good enough with your steroids to be able to hold your own on defense. Now, I know I don't want to give DeAndre Ayton a lot of respect on his name because of the fact that he has taken steroids, but he's going to have to get some kind of recognition for the shooting percentage that he has put up to make himself a reliable go-to person for his team to get points and buckets. So, let's get back to this Coach of the Year stuff, right? I'm gonna stay with the Knicks talk stuff, right? Because we're gonna go more into Knicks talk as we continue. So Tom Thibodeau, right, got first place. Then we got Monty Williams in third place. We got Utah's coach Quinn Snyder, right, in third place. Then we got Doc Rivers in fourth place. Then we get Atlanta's coach Nate McMillan in fifth place, and that's even a statement for the fact that he didn't coach all year. So the fact that he was able to get us some mention. See, if I was an Atlanta Hawks fan, I would have felt the same way about Nate McMillan being able to get a vote here. The same way as a Knicks fan, I felt that Julius Randle should have gotten at least a vote for MVP. At least when you talk about the Coach of the Year candidates, Nate McMillan's name was brought up all year. That's respect. But since he's been doing a good job, that's respect. That wasn't the case with Julius Randle. But even more so, if I was an Atlanta Hawks fan, I would want to see it here in the voting. Like, as a Knicks fan, I get that you guys ain't talk about Julius Randle all year. You know where it really mattered to me when it came down to? In the voting. And it mattered in the voting, he got some votes. To be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a fifth place in the voting. Also in New York, right, folks? So we got Tom Thibodeau from the Knicks with first. We got the Phoenix Suns, Monty Williams in second. We got Quinn Snyder with the Utah Jazz in third. We got Doc Rivers with the Philadelphia 76ers in fourth. We got Nate McMillan with the Atlanta Hawks in fifth. And in sixth, folks, we keep it local. And we keep it thorough. Folks, Brooklyn's own Kyrie Irving comes in for sixth place for Coach of the Year, folks. Yeah, folks. Look at Kyrie Irving sneaking in and getting himself a couple of votes. Yo, B. So Kyrie Irving gets himself a couple of votes and gets in the 6th place, and the 7th place comes Michael Malone for the Denver Nuggets, folks. And the Denver Nuggets, who, listen, they're gonna try to see if they can get some wins over the Phoenix Suns, who, since they have eliminated the LA Lakers, have been on a natural high. But let's not talk about the high that they're on. Let's talk about the low that the New York Knicks find themselves in, folks. We talked about that. So here they are, most improved player. Here they are with votes for MVP, and here they are with Coach of the Year. And what I started off this segment talking about the Knicks is that this is a nice start to their offseason. An offseason that's going to be riddled with decision, moves, and money to be spent, folks. The New York Knicks have 9 free agents coming off their blocks and their books this year. I've been trying to let you guys understand and really soak in on who's going to be left on this team. And the only individuals left on this team are going to be the players that are underneath their rookie contract. That are the only players the Knicks don't have to re-sign. Derrick Rose is a free agent. Last year he made $7.5 million. We're gonna have to determine what we're gonna do with him. He's a 13-year veteran, and maybe he's one of those players. Like I'm trying to determine myself of who I want back and who I don't want back. And to be honest with you, I kind of want Derrick Rose back. Now, do I want him back at $7.5 million? We're gonna have to see and negotiate, because I don't think the salary cap is gonna do much changing this year, as they're gonna try, as the NBA is gonna try to honor what it was last. I'm gonna honor what it was for the last couple of years. I'm hearing keys. Oh shit, we got KJ. And he came in right at the perfect time as I was doing my Knicks talk.
Man, fuck that. It's National Sex Day. Go have sex. Blue Chew.
I already did the Blue Chew commercial twice already. I threw the pack over there somewhere already. Like, it is National Sex Day.
That I give a fuck.
This is
that's the sponsor.
It is.
Blue Chew. National Sex Day. Why? June 9th.
Listen,
6/9/2020.
I'm gonna tell you this. I won't be getting any sex today because I was an asshole today.
Oh, you fool. You folded. You fucked up.
Listen. I was a complete
Hey
asshole.
man, players fuck up too.
Completely despicable actions. Like, yeah.
This man done fucked up.
I'm probably gonna be single. Yeah, completely fucked up. So,
Talk about that off the air.
I already talked about it on there.
You making me hate my job even more. I'm just getting upset that I've been staying so late this shit.
Listen, man, get that money, B.
It'd be different if I came in early. They changed my time to make me come in later.
Oh, they stay later.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit.
So so you may have missed. I was just telling everybody how happy I am today, because of the fact, but not just because it's National Sex Day, right? Blue Chew code MDUT, right?
Blue Chew.
The fact that my Knicks were fully respected this year, and this is all I really wanted, was the respect. I never expected Julius Randle to win MVP. I just wanted him to be in the conversation, because, as I said before, and I'm just gonna say this one more time for KJ. Where is it at? Sorry, that's the wrong one. If James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, or Kawhi Leonard had done with this New York team that Julius Randle had done, they would have been talked about for MVP all year. That was really the point I was talking about a couple weeks ago. I just wanted the respect. Hey, they got 2 players like we got 2 players. You know who didn't get 2 players? Phoenix. LA got 2 players. Yep. I know.
Rudy Gobert over Donovan Mitchell.
He wasn't there. Defensive Player of the Year again.
Garbage.
So
Garbage.
that was the point that I was really trying to make a couple weeks ago.
Get off the screen.
Was that if it was any of those guys, Westbrook, Simmons, Harden, James, or Leonard, they would have talked about them as MVP. So when it came down for MVP voting, I was like, I know he didn't get talked about, and even as much as I wanted him talked about, I was like, you know what? I just wanted to get a vote. He got 9 of them, and he got a higher vote than Rudy Gobert, more votes than Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, Harden, James, or Kawhi Leonard. And that's what I was trying to say. There's a group of people that if they would have done this, they would have been talked about more. And he wasn't, and I get it. But he was talked about enough to get most improved player. Oh, because you got to finish hearing this. So I'm happy that he got the vote for MVP. I'm even more happy that he even won that most improved player because that's more respectable of the position that he should have held. But what I'm really happy about also is the Coach of the Year award being handed to the Knicks. I don't want to say handed to the Knicks, but the Knicks winning that. And like I said, that makes me happy to start off my free agents. And now we have a ton of decisions that we're gonna have to make when it comes to free agents. Derrick Rose, 13-year veteran, $7.5 million, but we earned his early bird rights. So Derrick Rose is one player I am fully on board with bringing back. We have Alex Burke, a 10-year vet as well. We have a couple of double-digit vets, but he's one of them, a 10-year vet. He got $6 million. I got some whiskey in here. Oh, okay. You still got your blue dream over there.
Huh?
Your blue dream over there still.
Blue dream. You need ice though? I grabbed too much thinking that you was gonna
I can go for some ice. So now what I'm happy also about is that this starts off a nice good offseason for the Knicks, right? With this is more momentum. You know, we had a culture. You see players improve. You see now if you see that we have the Coach of the Year. You see if we buy in that you can win MVP. You can get MVP votes. Derrick Rose got more MVP. Did you see that? Derrick Rose came in higher than Rudy Gobert, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, James Harden, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard. So if you're guys like Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, who I keep hearing growing about him possibly coming to New York. I'm not gonna hold my hopes up. I'm just talking what I hear. That's what I have to do at this point. I only can tell you what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing, because look, what do I have there on the board? Dame not having it. You know what he wasn't having? Talks about him leaving. I've had that on the board forever. I need to erase that. That's not how Dame is talking now. That's not the same talk that's coming out of his camp now. You understand? It was firm.
His camp's been wanting him to get out.
It's just he won't get I know his camp is wanting him to get out. But when asked about it, him and his whole camp has always been firm as that he's not going anywhere.
But they want him to.
Yes. This is now the first time that it actually sounds out he is sick and tired of his situation. If Damian Lillard had done what the New York Knicks, that James Harden, that Julius Randle had just did, he would have been in more talks for MVP. Now, granted, he got more votes. He did beat Julius Randle by one position for MVP. Imagine if Damian Lillard had done this. Stephen Curry wouldn't be third for votes. That would be Damian Lillard. Giannis Antetokounmpo wouldn't be fourth. He'll be fifth. Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, none of those guys would be above Damian Lillard if Damian Lillard was on this Knicks team. You understand? You know how Derrick Rose became the 9th guy in MVP votes? Fan votes. Fan votes. That's a direct correlation of playing in New York because Derrick Rose is doing this in Detroit. Derrick Rose is doing this in Minnesota. I just want a ball, B. He didn't get these votes. Here I am thinking he should get 6th man of the year. He got an MVP vote. I'm happy. Have you ever seen that Plies skit on Instagram, on his Instagram feed, where he talk about people hating on him and talks like, yo, you big mad over there. I'm happy. Can I tell you from the moment Plies
trying to make some fun.
Can I tell you from the moment Plies has become a rapper, he has always been one of my guilty pleasures in life. Yo, when you're one of my ex-girls, me and one of my ex-girls did nothing. I am no longer incriminating myself. I am trying to turn over a whole brand new leaf. I am begging for forgiveness right now. And if I don't get it, I won't even be surprised.
Baby, come back.
Sugars, come back.
Sugars, come back now. Sugars, come back now. Oh, sugars, come back now. Sugars, come back now. Sugar, sugars, come back now. Sugars, come back now. Bring it back now.
Sugars, come back. Sugars, come back. Sugars, come back to me. Me sorry. God, Lord,
Don't
help
leave me
me.
hanging upon National Sex Day.
Listen, I'm not getting sex for the rest of this month.
Lord.
Like, I'll be lucky to get sex by our birthdays. In July.
Oh, man.
17th and 20th.
B, what the fuck? I mean, you already told the people. I mean, damn.
I Wayne braided my girlfriend.
Huh?
I Wayne braided my girlfriend.
Wayne Brady, your girlfriend?
Oh, you need a better reference?
Yeah. Wayne Brady. Like,
We got into a heated argument and my hands found their way around her neck.
Fuck sex. Let's just hope that the next sex you have is in this room with a woman, not in a cage with somebody named Tiny. Hit the brakes!
But from what you said, on my action, it'll be deserved. Like I see something like yeah, my mood is the way I am. It's so out of character that when I replay it in my head, I'm disgusted. Yeah.
I know you are, because I know that's not you. So I know that shit has to be serious. Some crazy shit. You're like, nah, that's not my boy. That's not my boy.
So yeah. Like, you understand, I'm about to tell my doctors I need anger management kind of shit. like whatever the fuck is going on in my head, may need anger management. Like I'm gonna take it that far, cause I'm like I can't. This can never happen again.
Never, baby. Never.
And don't anybody try to figure out what the fuck she did or anything like that. Like, nothing. It don't even matter. Don't even matter. Don't even matter. My ultimate reaction does not ultimately makes anything that she did null and void. Doesn't even matter. Like even in my eyes, it don't even matter. Like to be honest with you, it's like there's no past, there's no nah, it don't even matter. I was like, no, listen, this is gonna be a podcast for the records. Like, somebody's gonna look back at this podcast and be like, yo, this is who represents your company. And I ain't gonna have shit to say except for I've been a better man ever since this podcast. And if I haven't, then you won't be hearing any more podcasts because I'll probably be in jail. I even told her so much so, if this ever happens again, call the cops on me. Don't hesitate. Like get my ass locked up. If this happens again, I definitely learn my lesson. Lock me the fuck up. So at that point in time, I'm completely a fucking barbarian. That's what I need to be. It's amongst other barbarians. So, as we try to transition again, listen, I haven't had smooth transitions this whole talk. There ain't no way to easily transition into that except for today's National Sex Day. I don't want to get it. Okay, so the Knicks have a lot of decisions to make, as like my girlfriend has a lot of decisions to make with this relationship, right? But the Knicks have got to figure out who they want to keep. That's how my girlfriend's going to have to decide if she wants to keep me, right? I knew I could segue. Derrick Rose, free agent. I tried telling you guys about all the free agents. Derrick Rose, free agent. We got his early bird rights. 7.5 mil, 13-year vet. I probably want to bring back Derrick Rose, especially since you got his bird rights, right? So, especially since you got his early bird rights, you can fandangle that contract. Get him a 3-year contract, maybe. You know what I mean? 2-year with a 1-player team option. You know, something like that. You know, just say thank you to help us rebuild in this culture, you know? And help it be that second voice for Tom Thibodeau. And also being, like I said, help us set that culture in the way that he's a veteran. And he was so good his first couple of years that even though he's been out all of these years, that so many people still look up to him. And now he's this great comeback story. As you can see, the fans gave him the MVP vote. He's the people's champ. Mm-hmm. Like literally, Derrick Rose, the people's champ. I just have been calling that for a whole year. and
the people's rose.
No, listen. You know they say you need to get your rose while you're living. Man,
the people's rose.
He completely changed his narrative, even for me. Because I wasn't kind to Derrick Rose in my early years of potting, in early years of sports, you know, of sports opinion. I was very harsh on him. I even thought he was gay at one point in time. He just didn't want to come out. Still kind of think that. You know what I mean? Like shit. Like I used to be really hard on Rose. Like I don't know. I want to say that you may have to catch like the first or second season to really hear how hard I used to be on Rose. So we have Derrick Rose, free agent. Alex Burke, free agents. 10-year vet, $6 million. No bird rights. We got Nerlens Noel, right? 8-year veteran, $5 million. No bird rights. Alex Burke, I can say yes, I want back. Because Alex Burke is who I honestly thought should have been running point guard for us. Instead of Derrick Rose as a starter. Mm-hmm. When they couldn't make up their mind after Alfred Payton, it should have been Alex Burke because you had went with him before as a point guard. Mm-hmm. And like I said, sometimes you get too cute for yourself. And look at this. Look at playoff Rivers showing up. There actually is a such thing as playoff Austin Rivers.
Playoff Rivers.
Yo.
Playoff Rivers.
Regular season.
That actually rolls over smoothly.
Like regular season, cry me a river. Postseason, playoff Rivers.
I'm not gonna lie. I would not have minded had the Knicks kept Austin Rivers just for the fucking playoffs.
You know, we could have used him.
Damn sure could.
But I don't know what happened. He fell into the doghouse of Tom Thibodeau. I don't know what happened. Because all of a sudden he's dropping 24s in a quarter. And the next you know he's not getting any minutes.
No minutes. It blew me.
And this is like and that happened in the same week. I never heard what happened. You know what? I may have to start calling into some morning shows. ESPN radio. Be like, yo, why did Austin Rivers get traded? Like anybody got this scoop? I wanna listen. If anybody got this scoop, come let me know. I wanna know. I definitely wanna know. Alfred Payton. No, I'm not even gonna go over his numbers. We don't want him back.
Get that EC
Listen,
out of here.
We don't have his bird rights. He's a 7-year vet, 4.7 mil. We don't want him back.
Kick him out the door.
Goddamn! Look at the Phoenix Suns defense this postseason. Points allowed first, everything first. Goddamn! This is going to be nice. This is going to be nice, right? Frank Ntilikina, restricted free agent. We have his bird rights, and I don't see us utilizing him.
Get him out of here.
Like, to be honest with you, he may be in the G League or he may be in France. Because I don't see another team sign. Who signs Frank?
Take his ass over to France. He'd be lucky to be in the G League.
Like, if a guy that came into the league couldn't build his reputation as a defensive player under the defensive coach on a defensive team, what the fuck good are you? We didn't come out this season thinking Marcus Smart. We didn't come out this season thinking Patrick Beverly. Like, we didn't think none of that shit. This motherfucker Swiss cheese with the defense.
Hot
Is that a cheese?
hot knife going through butter.
Is that a French cheese?
Hot knife
What
going
did I
through
say?
butter.
Swiss. I'm tripping. But seriously. So we're not signing Frank back. So no Peyton and no Frank.
Hell no.
Reggie Bullock,
I don't mind him.
4.1 mil, 8-year veteran. We have his early bird rights. I can bring him back.
I don't mind him, but he can't be our only shooter.
No, we didn't.
He cannot be our only shooter.
Well, this is what we did. Like, he's a good backup shooter because even Alex Burke, Alex Burke can't be our only two shooters. Period.
Because listen, you're dragging them right now because they beat us or whatever. But the way though, like, other than the centers, every motherfucker on that team can shoot.
Other than the centers,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Other than the centers, every motherfucker on that team can shoot. The
Oh.
people who get burned,
Yeah.
they're live from everywhere on the field.
I can't wait till they get eliminated from the playoffs. Philly and Brooklyn?
I don't
Yo,
know. That's not a lock anymore. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's not a lock. Philly and Brooklyn, it's not a lock. I'm not saying Philly's gonna lose,
Oh, okay. I was
But
trying to
it's-
figure out who's gonna lose this. I'm like,
but it's
who
not a
you say
lock.
lose it?
When I got my all-star point guard giving me 4 points, and then my center, who by the grace of God, a partially torn meniscus, but it's still out here giving you 39 and 40.
40 points in the playoff game. First time since AI has done it. That's what you guys know. And I'm not talking about Angelina Iguodala. He wasn't that kind of scorer.
But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, B.
Yo, look at DeAndre Ayton looking like he's 37
Shout out to the Royds.
in 1986. Yo, because 37 don't look like how DeAndre Ayton looks now. DeAndre looks 37 in 1987. He looks like he's in his late 30s in the 80s. He looked like he should be playing. He should have played with Clyde with Walt Frazier. He looked like he belonged to those guys. Look at his
Man,
face.
you finally agree on something.
DeAndre
That
Ayton.
motherfucker got a new Greg Oden.
He do look like Greg Oden, little brother.
Rough childhood.
Yo, he
motherfucker,
old
didn't
as
you?
shit.
He do look like Greg Oden, little
Shit.
brother.
Like, I hated them motherfuckers. Like, they up in school and they grown as fuck. Like, you was a whole grown ass man sitting up in class. You ain't even supposed to be here.
Just let you guys
hard
know
face ass.
that-
You supposed to be get up and do some construction. Your ass ain't supposed to be
Get
playing
up into
basketball.
construction. Oh shit! Like you over here answering math questions wrong. Go do construction.
Man, oh.
Like, how do you still not know what the fucking formula for pi is? What the hell? You've been here 4 times, it feels like. Just let you guys know that we're about in the 2 minute. We're just about 2 minutes out from our hard break before we lose you guys on Podbean and then rejoin. Everybody else will be here in a commercial. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about the rest of the games around the league. Atlanta, Phoenix, Clippers, and many more. Joker's MVP. A couple of more awards that were given out while we were away and a whole lot more on the MyT Sports Podcast. Welcome to the room. I see you guys joining. But like I said, we're about to have a little mini break so that we can bring it out into. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take that break now, folks. We'll be right back. If you're on Podbean and you're listening live, we'll be reconnecting with you in less than 30 seconds. Just look for the link and come rejoin.
Hey man, you don't have to listen, bro. Go Browns. Like we said, you don't have to listen, man. If you're tired of the Knicks.
Cleveland! This is for you!
This is for you, Baker Mayfield.
They didn't join this team to win championships.
That is for you, Baker Mayfield.
They didn't join this team to win championships.
And only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops,
I'm not playing with that shit.
all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this
No.
world.
He better not be here.
No
He
more.
better not get
If we see him,
kick him out.
I saw him
Kick him
before the
out.
podcast. It's the only way I was able to see him. But if we saw Mark today, he's definitely a Mark.
Straight up.
Straight up Mark.
I will
Mark.
throw him out like Uncle Phil throws Jazz out the house.
For real. Or you mean like how?
Get out of here and go make love to your wife
Or you
on
mean
her
how
birthday.
hopefully the Clippers are gonna throw out the Jazz?
That shit. I don't want the Clippers to be the Jazz.
I don't know. Like I don't think so either.
Nah, man.
Jazz and Phoenix?
I want down to, yeah, I want to see that. I'm tired of the Clippers, man. Get them out of here.
Yo, Buck.
Pandemic
Book.
P once
I'm
again.
gonna give Trae Young this much respect. Like Devin Booker, when those lights are on, them niggas perform, and they shine, and you see them the brightest, and you see them there, and you see them putting on their best.
Representing for the light skinned crowd.
Devin Booker has been waiting for that's like how Trae Young was like, yo, I waited I lived my whole life for this moment, for these moments. Devin Booker lived his whole life for to be in the playoffs, and he is balling. Like we're talking about Jim Jones kind of shit.
Not
He
even
is
blinking.
balling.
Not
fully.
even blinking.
So let's finish up our next talk.
Not even
Right?
blinking.
Reggie
Julius
Bullock, free
Randle.
agent. Taj Gibson, free agent.
He was eating boards. I'm not mad.
We may bring him back as a culture guy because he may end up being like our Adonis Haslam at some
Yeah,
point.
that's what I'm saying.
Because he only saw this many minutes because the next guy I'm about to mention, Mitchell Robinson,
I need that nigga back healthy.
was injured. But Mitchell Robinson, we have a club option. So like he's still underneath his rookie contract.
Oh, yeah,
I don't even know why he even came up on the rookie free agent. But you know what? Actually, I know why he came up a free agent. Because he's in his third year. That's why he came up on the free agent list.
Look, it's not fucking.
Oh wow, look at it. Then he hanged on the rim of one hand.
They not fucking with these niggas, man. Damn, Denver.
Listen, that's not how Brooklyn ain't fucking with Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, this is for you, head ass.
Yo,
Take the 49-pound beat down.
can I tell? I'm gonna tell you what I told the people in the podcast earlier.
Wow, talk about a disappointment. Like, yo, Milwaukee, like, when I say I'm done with those niggas, I'm done. I didn't pick them to beat Brooklyn, but, yo, kid,
So
I sure as hell thought I was going to see a good series. I'm like, okay, maybe these niggas, the way they beat Miami, it's like, okay, maybe they learned their lesson. Maybe they learned. Harden goes out, first couple minutes, you getting smoked. Okay, you lackadaisical because they lose one player you thought you had a game. I don't know why you would think that. There's still KD, there's still Kyrie over there. I don't know what the fuck you thinking. Game 2, zone.
Hayek still looking sexy. as
Zone
fuck.
defense. Oh my God, tell me about it. Lord,
Listen,
have mercy.
I've been in love with Selma Hayek since before I hit puberty.
Lord, she's so bad. She can still get it.
Bad.
But anyway,
Bad.
for them bumps to get blown out like that, come out and playing zone defense against the Brooklyn Nets, what are you doing? And let me tell you something. That nigga KD is taking this shit personally.
See? Sorry, I didn't mean. But look,
He's taking that shit against Giannis personally. He's like,
what does it say right here? What does that say right there? Where my fingers at? Say that.
This looks personal, son.
I said the same shit earlier in the podcast.
Because that nigga...
He got him on a yo-yo.
B. That nigga scores on anybody else, it's nothing. That nigga scores on Giannis, it's some type of facial expression, some type of excitement, or the way he scores is just the way that you do somebody.
Now.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds like a vibe right now.
That looks good.
But anyway, when he scores on Giannis, it's a disrespectful way he scored on him. It's crossing him up and whatnot, and it makes sense. It's like there was at one point, for some reason, people compared him to KD, and it's like,
even though he denies it,
and it's like,
or he denies that he had a problem with it, that he said to Jay Will.
Anyway.
So Mitchell Robinson, and then two other guys, Penson and Harper. Both of them are restricted free agents.
They can go.
They're like, well, one makes 1.4 mil, and I think he's I don't know where he's at, and Harper makes $9,902. But I think he's out. I think he's one of our G League two-way players.
I think both of them are that.
Yeah. So Mitchell Robinson, obviously, he's in his third year. That's why he pops up here. That's the reason why R.J. Barrett isn't on this list and a couple other players. Reason why Frank is on here. I did say Frank, right? I did say Frank, yeah. So, to be honest with you, right? I was obviously Penson and Harper because they're just kind of like guys that fill in space. But they don't take up much money.
They can still go.
But they're going to go. But we're talking about 4 spots. 2 spots that we really used. That's Peyton and Frank. But that's 2 point guards. The 2 guys that just basically just ate up nothingness. Now, you notice who isn't here? Kevin Knox.
Oh, he's gone.
But Kevin Knox is going to end up being gone as well. And which is odd that I actually, you know what? It's actually odd that I didn't see Kevin Knox on this list because I thought this was Kevin Knox. This would be his 5th, even regardless, 4th or 5th season with the New York Knicks. We should have put him on this free agency list regardless. Like just how Mitchell Robinson is on here in his 3rd year. If this was his 4th year, he should have been here by now because this would make this a club option. They would have to list this as a club option as well. So I'm not quite sure why I don't see him on this list that I pulled up earlier. But yeah, but Kevin Knox should definitely be on this list. So that's 11 players. 11 players. Remember I was talking about a couple weeks ago that only people on the contract, the people underneath their rookie contract, that's 11 players we're going to lose. You see why I was talking about a couple weeks ago? People were like, oh, now granted, I was counteracting people's credit for Tom Thibodeau, where they were like, oh, he's doing this with basically the same team from last year. No, he's not.
The disrespect.
No, he's not. This ain't the same team from last year. Now it looks like it in a weird way from the starting position. You know, Alfred Payton, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, you know what I mean? And who was the other guy? What am I missing? But then, you know, Reggie Bullock at times, whoever they put in the 2-guard position. Like that, I mean, but other than that, everything else was new players. Derrick Rose, brought in this year. Alex Burke, Nerson Noel, but Taj Gibson. Like all those guys were new. That contributed this year. Nerson Noel ended up being our starting center. Taj Gibson and as you said was getting boys right underneath him. Derrick Rose ended up we ended up winning 66% of our games once he came to us. Alex Burke as a shooting guard ended up being a starting point guard for us at times. They weren't here.
It was the same team.
That's what, it wasn't the same team.
Stupid asses. Why you don't speak about my team. You don't know shit.
And this is coming from the media.
Media, don't speak on my team. You don't know shit.
Thank you. Now Joker wins MVP, 91 first place votes, 8.
Well deserved.
Now,
even though that was a travel.
Now you know something interesting about Joker, right? As he wins this year, he gets 91 first place votes. Do you know when the Joker was drafted? There was a Taco Bell commercial playing. Just giving you context and how overlooked he's been and how unexpected this was of him. When he was drafted, there was a Taco Bell commercial running. And now look at him. Top 3 center in the game?
Go ahead, ND me. Oh,
Right?
Absolutely. What? I don't know who's 2-1.
Well,
But you're going to have to convince me. Embiid probably the only one worthy of being above him.
well, it depends on. I'm playing to multiple fan bases here. And multiple people.
Embiid, Jokic.
'Cause-
Outside
'cause-
of them two for centers?
Because we're talking about Embiid, Jokic, and the Brow. See? And Embiid can't stay healthy enough, and neither can the Brow.
Embiid stays a whole hell of a lot healthier than that motherfucker. And plus, he's a 4. Take your ass to the power forwards. Get out of here.
True. So now we have now in the last hour that we have here going on, right? Don't forget the Blue Chew promo code MDUT. That's Mike Delta Uniform Tango. As today is National Sex Day and Hump Day.
Man, listen, man. National Sex Day on Hump Day. Yo,
I'm telling you,
come on, man.
yo, Mark about to have his 4th kid today.
Lord,
He don't even realize it. He about to have his 4th kid at 50. Like, they about to break every medical. Like when the stars line up like this, you break every, like, actually, like, you know, I'm kind of glad I'm not having sex today, because you know what, I ended up getting my girlfriend. I would have ended up getting my girlfriend pregnant today.
you're bugging.
Like that. Listen, all these stars are lining up today. Like, nah, today would have been one of those days.
Nah, the pull-out game would have still been on point.
My pull-out game is weak.
That's unfortunate.
It's like, yeah,
That is unfortunate.
yeah, my pull-out game is weak because
Every time I consider, I always the flashes go through my head of the alternative. I no.
But that's because like her like keep me in game is strong.
No, I don't give a damn.
Like,
You better be like Public Enemy. Fight the power.
like, yo,
Fight the power.
Like, you don't get it. Like,
Fight the power.
It be like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with that motherfucker. Like,
Fight
I can't.
the power.
I can't.
Fight the power.
I can't get out.
Fight the power.
Like,
Fight the power.
like what was
Gotta
that?
fight the powers that be.
What was that skit where that motherfucker was like clinch and snap? Oh yeah, even from the back, she be clinching that motherfucker. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get out. Like, god damn it. Yeah. Well, that's probably the last time that's ever gonna happen. So we ain't gonna talk about this in memory from here on out. Still don't realize I may be an asshole. I've had a couple of my ex-girlfriends call me an asshole. Even a few call me insensitive. I'm trying to absorb all of them now. One called me passive aggressive. Like, I don't even understand that shit. But okay,
It'd be like that.
But I feel like every time I get a new girlfriend, I always find myself having to ask the question, am I an asshole? Like, so,
women will have you questioning that about yourself.
like I should have got, every time I'm in a new relationship, I feel like this time I'm a complete asshole. Yes. But every time I'm in a new relationship, I always find myself asking, am I an asshole?
Damn, this some good.
The bad thing about it is that, you know what? Is that I feel like my better relationships are always with the ones I don't want to be with and I don't care about. And the ones that have the hardest time is the ones that I actually like and care about. Cause see, those ones actually can push nerves. The ones you don't care about, they can never push your buttons. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck what you say about them. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, do it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. When you care, you give a fuck about everything for some reason. For no reason. Like, what? You stubbed your toe? Can't walk? What the fuck's wrong? Yo, this commercial right here, right? This progressive commercial cracks me the fuck up. Especially when they're trying to say the word quinoa. Right? Because I remember when quinoa first started making its appearance, and Natalie was making her food with that before everybody, Sensei, right? And she brought it here, and we were trying to figure out the pronunciation of that shit. We were like, quinoa, quinoa. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of shit, right? Now, what cracks me up about that Progressive commercial more than anything, because they're trying to say it, and they're going through all of the other shit. They sneak something very real in there, and it's low key. And I don't want to say it's racist, but it plays to racial undertones a little bit, because all of a sudden, right? You know how quinoa is spelled, like Kunua or whatever, right? The old white guy, cause it's a commercial. Basically, the commercial is like, don't become your parents when you get homeowners insurance, kind of shit. The white guy he sees the word quinoa, he goes, Joaquin? Like, where the fuck you get Joaquin from? I was like, yo, that was funny to me, but I was also like, that had some racial undertones in there, like. But that shit is funny as fuck. And he's like, Joaquin. How the fuck you get Joaquin from Q? Another commercial that's cracking me up lately, right, is a Taco Bell commercial. Have you seen the new Taco Bell commercial about the naked with the naked chicken? Right?
The naked chicken chalupa?
Yeah, and they're having an argument, and the dude throws the chalupa in the dude's face. Right, and it's old school, like it's a bunch of old school people, like so they have the little white wigs on and shit like that, and they're trying to determine how you should make a proper chicken sandwich, right? And they're like, it's chicken, mayo, pickle, it's bread, mayo, pickle, chicken, mayo, bread. They're like, no, it's chicken, it's bread, mayo, pickle, cheese, chicken, mayo, pickle, and so one of the guys just gets up and he's like, blasphemous, and throws a chicken chalupa in his fucking face, right? And I keep cracking up this commercial because Mark's brother Darnell threw a chicken bone in somebody's face that was talking shit to him. What? Like, he said the wrong shit. And Darnell is a very passive motherfucker, just to let you know. Super passive. Like, non-violence, my brother, non-violence. I'm the I by any means necessary motherfucker in the group. Right? Like, even Lewis is non-violence. I'm the not by any means necessary guy in the group. Right? So no doubt, like, Darnell got up, was like, the fuck you say? And threw a fucking chicken bone in this nigga's face. Like, I've never seen anybody get bitched back with a chicken bone before. But this shit happened in real life, in real time. So now every time I see this naked chicken chalupa commercial, and I see this dude throwing a fucking chicken in his face, I flash back to Darnell and that scenario, and I can't stop cracking the fuck up. I'm like, this is the best reenactment I've ever seen of that scenario. That you, and then also because we always fuck with Darnell and his age, right? And call him the old man. The fact that this was one of those like colonial shits of like all those old guys with all those old George Washington white ass fake ass wigs kind of shit made it even funnier to me. He's like, blasphemous! I was like, that's basically what happened, Donald. I was like, blasphemous chicken bone. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. And honestly, that's how I feel like Brooklyn is doing my Milwaukee. They're just slapping them with chicken balls in the face.
With chicken balls to the face.
Like, you said, you said, like, you were better than who? Blasphemous! Oh, my God. Now, a couple more places around the league as we wrap up the final half an hour of the podcast, all right? We have the Atlanta Hawks and they have them getting clipped in this latest game by the 76ers. But not before they won that first game, and now this series is tied 1-1. Joel Embiid, partially deterministic as you said earlier, put up a 40-burger. First person since Allen Iverson. I know I'm not talking about Angelo Iguodala. He wasn't that kind of scorer.
The answer.
To any of your questions. Even to if I could win one game against Kobe Bryant in the finals. Against Shaq and Kobe in his prime. So they come away. Philly comes away with a nice little victory there. Joel Embiid literally has to ball the fuck out. But it wasn't a close game. It wasn't a fully close game. 118-102. But they needed They needed every bit of that 40 points for Joel Embiid. They needed Joel Embiid to be as dominant as he is. They needed him to neutralize the defensive prowess of Clint Capella. to make him not be a factor, especially the way that he was a factor in the Knicks series. Now, also around the league, it has become official wording that there's a mutual agreement between Boston and Kemba Walker. They both are no longer happy with the scenario. So they're looking to trade Kemba, and Kemba's looking to leave. Now, as a Knicks fan, no. You don't know what I'm about to say. We always talk from our point of view, but sometimes we forget that there's other teams. We don't talk as if there's other teams out there that may be coveting other players at the same position. They were limited to Boston. See, that wasn't a no you were saying no to, were you?
I thought you about to jack. I was like, I love Kemba Walker.
I never wanted Kemba on the Knicks. He was always too small for me.
I love Kemba Walker. I crossover, step back, cardiac, Kemba, UConn wins at the buzzer. Yeah, I love it. But no, those knees are shot. Those knees are more shot than D Wade. No.
Listen, if I have to have Kemba Walker or Derrick Rose, let me keep Derrick Rose.
Let me keep Derrick Rose.
Players look up to him way better, way more than Kemba Walker.
And this has nothing to do. Kemba Walker's a fine player. He had a nice time, but those injuries have really taken a toll on his career.
I don't hold Kemba Walker in any more regard than I hold Kyle Lowry.
All right, I'm not doing Kemba that dirty now.
I'm trying to give Kyle Lowry a little bit more respect, I guess, because of that championship. Just a little bit, I guess. I don't know why.
No, I know why. Because you fucked up earlier with your girl. Now you out here talking crazy.
Oh. Am I just distraught?
Let me test the waters. Tom Brady.
Fuck him.
Okay. Yeah, I test waters. Kyrie Irving.
He's keeping his mouth shut and balling right now. He gonna bring Brooklyn a ring.
Yeah, she got you good. You really fucked up. You really fucked up.
He gonna bring Brooklyn a ring. Want me to pack the both of you?
The great LeBron James.
Oh no. But. Fuck.
The fact that I get a butt, that lets me know that she fucked him up.
Wait.
No, I don't want a bull. I'm not.
Okay, wait. I have a butt in there, right? I told you that this was award season, and we talked about a lot of awards being handed out in the NBA. Well, there was an award handed out to an NBA player outside of the NBA, and that was to your great
LeBron James.
Yes, the great LeBron James. And it wasn't directly to him, but it was to his camp. So
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach
because I'm the best player in the world.
I have a huge basketball IQ.
Wait, that wasn't. Oh, that wasn't the right one. Oh wait, there we go. Generous King.
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach
because
I'm the best player in the world.
There we go.
I have a huge basketball IQ.
And I want my damn respect too.
That's still one of the finest pieces of work I've ever put together. Oh man, Team Petty was strong on that one. Oh shit! Didn't they see that? This is what happens when you're a Yankees fan. Like you just become Team Petty.
Fuck the Yankees right now. They piss me off. Fuck them.
That was a shout out to our old school people.
Oh my fucking god! What the hell is that?
The reason why somebody just tweeted, I haven't seen Chuck move like that since the 80s. Yo, just you gotta love the internet, yo. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Cat Williams looking real junky uncle right there.
Look like the crackhead pimp.
Looking like Jungle Uncle. They trying to hold him. You look at that Shaq. Is that Shaq trying to hold him?
That's a fat ass.
That is Shaq trying to hold him. That's the only person that could possibly hold him. Look at them. They hold. Yo, they holding each other like Brokeback Mountain and shit. Like they're like, I got you, baby. Like I'm here for you. I'm here for moral support. And as soon as the snake get too close, Shaq is out.
I ain't gonna lie, it is a thick ass snake though.
Pause.
Either way, if I was in that studio, I'd tell that lady, you better hold that snake like your life depends on it, alright? Because if you slip, I'm gonna kill that snake, and then I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna sit there calm and not scared as long as you hold that snake tight. Whatever the fuck that thing is, get loose. Oh, everybody dying. Everybody dying.
So, LeBron James and his camp, right? They won themselves an Emmy. Did you hear this? They won themselves an Emmy for the The shop. I'm about to write uninterrupted gets an Emmy. But the shop they got an Emmy for the shop. Which, hey, that's a nice little consolation prize outside of a championship. You still got some gold. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you get to turn around and be like,
Cleveland! This is for you!
You know, a little respect, a little love. Now, another name, right, as we're going around the league. Another name, and we actually talked about this name when we were discussing free agents. And especially point guards that you would be happy to see the New York Knicks target. And the New York Knicks are going to, and it sounds like the New York Knicks are probably going to target one of them. Right? A little bit closer to home.
Fred VanVleet.
Not so far away.
Fred VanVleet.
In the same city.
Fred VanVleet.
Spencer Dinwiddie. You really want Fred VanVleet?
Dog, I feel like Fred VanVleet is perfect to play in New York. I really do. I will never let it go. I will never let it go. If you watch that motherfucker play how he play ball, I'm like, man. And I can tell he want his own shine. He want his own spot. It's the criteria I talk about. It's like, yo, it's somebody who's bursting onto the scene, but they looking for that real opportunity to really have their own shit.
And it's not much you can do in Toronto because that's already Kyle Lowry and Kawhi
and
Leonard.
then he's undrafted, so you know he coming in with a chip on his shoulder.
Had a chip.
You know what I'm saying?
Then he got that chip.
Come on, man.
Still got a chip.
Come on, man. You know, kudos to Toronto for locking him up, because Lord knows. Oh, let he have been a free agent. Oh, man. I'd have been like, please, Lord. I mean, just look at him, too, B. Like you got a scrappiness to you that, you know, Knicks fans would love.
I can't even disagree. Like, I'm not a big Fred VanVleet guy. Right, and maybe that's just because he's in Toronto with Kyle Lowry, right? But
if you watch them and specifically watch how he play, how he move, it's like, kid, if there was some way you could get to New York, oh man.
But I do see a lot of the intangibles that you talk about.
Substitute fucking Alfred Payton.
Oh God.
For Fred VanVleet.
See now,
I guarantee you, Trae Young would not have had the type of fun that he had against our Knicks. I can guarantee you that.
Now you just brought my mood back down. Oh man. So let's bring the mood back up
You're
again.
not a Fred VanVleet guy, but I'm like, shit, it's better than goddamn Alfred fucking empty calories baiting.
Now, as we recap, right? Continue to recap. I said Phoenix and Denver is going on right now, so we'll find enough time to keep recapping. Like this just been a spotlight. This just been a hell of a game.
Over. This is a 2-0.
Now, the Clippers and Utah played a game, and this game was only stopped short because of the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert. Game time action. Remember my name. Score 112-109. One of the Morris twins. Marcus Morris. He's been playing well all game. Shooting the mid-range, shooting the three, extending Rudy Gobert, shooting over him. Plenty of times that game. When it mattered most, the defensive player of the year, Shaq's new butt of jokes, came up with a block on a 3-point shot on Marcus Morris, whichever one he is, to tie, that would have tied the game, to get Utah that victory, 112-109. And I didn't think that Utah had a skilled enough big man to give the Clippers a problem, to be honest with you. Because I see their problem to be with skilled big men. But now it just looks like their problem is with any big man. But yo, they are getting some good minutes and good production from Boban. Like Boban, he just gets, like every time I see Boban get the what's going on? Is that Vince? I think that's different. Every time I see
in dagger threes.
Every time I see Boban like get the ball, it just seems so easy to him. Like they get the ball to him down low and he just scores. Which makes me wonder why don't they get him the ball 15 times a game? In a sweet spot. To draw fouls or either just get 50. That's 20 easy points. Down low from your center. There goes Jay Crawford or Montrezl Harrell or which one is that? In Phoenix. Which one is it? Which one is the power? Which one of them is challenging the power of the Dreads in Phoenix? Crowder. Okay. They all look the same to me. I swear to God, they all look the same. I may be profiling because of the dreads, but they all look the same to me. High energy guys, wear dreads. And none of these guys are skilled guys. They're just high energy guys. Really good glue guys. The power of the dreads. Like they're not even challenging like Derrick Henry's power of the dread, right? Because Derrick Henry's power of the dread makes you run over people. I guess these guys run over people too. I guess the power of the dread gives you the goon mentality. I'm gonna cut my dreads off then.
Exactly. Maybe if you didn't have them dreads, you wouldn't have.
Wayne Brady.
Mm.
So, let's talk point guards. I saw a clip, a meme, a GIF, whatever you want to call it. From who it came from probably was more important. From one Stephen Anthony Smith. I don't know if his middle name is Anthony or not.
It is.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't think of another
I love how you
name.
just be guessing people's names and shit. Don't even be caring if you be fucking it up and whatnot.
Like Alfred Clifford Payne.
Sometimes, thank God we not national. Be like, imagine one of these guys hear you fucking up their name and shit.
I don't know what the A stand for. Could have been so like Stephen, Andre,
Alex Burks,
Stephen
Nurse
Alex.
Noel. He's gonna be the one to fuck you up. If we was national, he'd be the one to fuck you up. He would call in and be like, "Yo, bitch, say my name right. It's Nerlens." Hi. He gonna pull up. He like, "Oh, word? You gonna talk to him? Handle your business, G." You okay? You all leave? You know how I feel about names, B. I got a difficult ask name myself, but if somebody fuck it up, we got problems.
I got a difficult name too. Listen, I've had name issues.
Be like, "Hey man, hold that down. I'll be downstairs, getting the towels and the sponges, ready to, clean up."
But I saw this with Stephen Anthony Smith, the first. I don't even know that shit.
He has no sons. He has no sons.
Oh, cause I don't know if he's named after his dad, but I'm gonna call him the first.
He has no sons.
He has a daughter though that we rarely ever hear about. But he has a daughter. He keeps on.
I'm pretty sure he would name his daughter Stephen Anthony Smith.
Oh, her name is Stephanie actually.
Prove it. Exactly.
Anita.
Prove it.
I'm gonna pull it up after the podcast.
Exactly after the podcast.
I gotta make a fake page first.
So you see, he gotta make a fake page.
Stephen A. Smith came on the list of his top 5 point guards, and I had a problem.
If Chris Paul won a championship,
is that what he said in there?
It's what the list said. The list says top 5 point guards if Chris Paul wins a championship.
I didn't see that part.
But then you're blind.
And I guess that's the only way you get Chris Paul in there.
Exactly.
Because even with one championship, I'm sorry. Even with one championship in there, I don't know if I can fully co-sign him being there.
Then who's your top 5, sir?
Sorry, B.
And there's only one person I had a problem with. There was only one guy that I had an issue with. And I see why there had to be an extra stipulation made just to get him in
Who's
there.
your top 5, B?
I'm keeping all the same.
Who's your top 5?
Magic, Steph, Isaiah.
He forgot one of them. I'm not gonna tell him who it is, dude.
I did. It's not Gary Payton. Oh, it was Big O. He had Big O in there? And not Jerry West?
Big O's better than Jerry West.
I know, but he's the logo. But I like me Big O better anyway. I do, because it was triple double shit.
What? He's the logo. 9 NBA Finals losses. Fuck out of here.
But that Chris Paul one kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That Chris Paul
Who's
one,
5 then?
there's 2 people I could put above Chris Paul.
So say it then.
The first one I'm putting above Chris Paul that needs that position. John Stockton. I'm sorry. John Stockton.
The list said if Chris Paul wins a championship.
I get it. I'm still putting John Stockton ahead of him.
He has none.
And then after that, and then even then, Jerry West, I'm putting ahead of Chris Paul.
See, he's not gonna raise my blood pressure today. The list said if Chris Paul wins a championship.
I get it, even with a
If Chris
championship.
Paul wins a championship, I'm sorry, bye Jerry West, and damn sure bye John Stockton. Bye bye.
Then in that case, I'm taking Isaiah Thomas. Then I'm putting in Jerry West. I'm taking or I'm taking Isaiah Thomas.
You taking Isaiah Thomas what?
Out, and I'm putting in John Stockton.
You taking Isaiah Thomas out?
If you're gonna put in Chris Paul, if he wins one championship, then I'm taking Isaiah Thomas out, and I'm putting in John Stockton.
A 2-time champion, and you're putting a guy who lost the finals each time he got there over him. Okay, all right. The people who's listening who fuck with basketball are stripping your basketball card as we speak.
There has never been a player in NBA history that has averaged a double-digit assists his whole entire career, like Stockton has. 14 assists per season, 15 assists a season. He is the first, second, and third leading assist leader in the league.
Can you tell me who his teammate was, please?
Declan Shrimp.
Can you tell me who his teammate was, please?
I don't know who he had at center.
Can you tell me who his teammate was, please?
The current version of Blake Griffin.
Can you tell me who his teammate was, please?
Karl Malone.
Thank you. Once you say that,
Karl Malone. No. Because you know how I feel about Karl Malone.
Karl Malone is the top 5 scorer in all time NBA
because
history.
of John Stockton.
And because of Karl Malone, John Stockton has averaged all those assists.
Because of John Stockton. John Stockton would have had double-digit assists every year without Karl Malone.
I'm glad you think that. People are stripping your basketball card as we speak.
Listen, John Stockton could have made Karl Malone. Could have made Sean Kemp look like Karl Malone. Just to let you know.
Oh, there's Tyler's basketball card.
He could have made Sean Kemp look like Karl Malone if he had him.
Can you be quiet, please? I'm trying to watch this game here. You talking nonsense.
He could have had Paul Gasol look like Karl Malone.
Once again, can you be quiet? I'm trying to watch the Phoenix-Denver game.
He would have had Shaq as the.
You see, we got Aaron, we got light skin on dark skin crime, and you want to talk about this nonsense over here that you're talking about. Aaron Gordon said, "I ain't no bitch."
He would have had Kenneth Faried looking like Karl Malone.
Aaron Gordon said he ain't no bitch. He said, "Jay Crowder, you got to see me."
I haven't seen CP3 make anybody look like Karl Malone. But people look impressive. He got Tyson Chandler contracts, you know what I mean? Like tons of contracts.
I'm gonna just wait till you want to go to the next topic.
He helped Blake Griffin continue extend his career a little. But he ain't no John Stockton. And that's the reason why it has to say if. Because without that championship, he is nowhere even close to John Stockton.
Chris Paul would have shitted on John Stockton.
But he wouldn't have been the same player that he is. John Stockton would have. Oh, what they call offensive foul? Oh, look at that. The frustration getting to Aaron Gordon. Fouls Jay Crowder after they just came face to face. Did they both get technicals on that one?
That's that light skin shit. A little something. Light skins get all sensitive and up in their feelings. Ain't that right, Mark?
You see all the Futures kids out here balling. I shouldn't say Futures kids because I don't think he's that much older than them. All the Future siblings out here balling.
What you mean, Mark? 50? These niggas is in their 20s.
No. Futures kids. Future.
Yeah, Future.
Like.
Jay Crowder's kid.
What's the mask on? Mask on.
That nigga Future, I'd be shocked if he's 30.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like, yo. That's what I'm like. None of these guys are his kids. Like these are his siblings. His siblings out here balling. These aren't his kids. Where are we at now? We're just coming out to the last 7 minutes of the podcast. Yeah, I'm sorry, B. I can't do it. I can't. Like that's the reason why that stipulation has to be in there. Without it, he's not better than John Stockton, and nobody says it. Without a ring, see, that's the reason why he needed that ring to put him in there. Now I understand. See, now I get it why Stephen A. added that nice little asterisk. Because he wants to find a way to try to sneak Chris Paul into the categories of the top 5 point guards. But he's not. He's nice. He's in the top 10. You know what I mean? Like, I would go as far to say top 7. Depending if you want to make Allen Iverson a point guard or not. I think Allen Iverson would reserve a shooting guard, don't we? For Iverson? Do we keep Iverson in What, you tuning me out? Stockton is 26 on my list. As all-time point guards, Paul is 36. Okay, that works for me too. I don't know who this is. Sweet Brandon, White Chocolate OG. All-time players. Okay. So if he has Stockton at 26 and Chris Paul...
The fact that you have time to list 36 players all time...
Listen, on, man. That is a dedicated fan.
You
very dedicated sports fan. Listen, man.
Different.
So
at that time.
So that goes to help with what we were saying, that if he has Stockton as 26 on his list and Chris Paul is 36 on the list, then he definitely has John Stockton. He got a top 50 list. Oh, you got a full top 50? I don't even have a top 50 list ready.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? Sweet Brandon. Like, we don't have a lot of time left on this podcast because we only got like 5 minutes left on the podcast today.
Don't even say it. I'm not going to go back in time and put a list of 50 players.
I'm not. I'm saying I want. Whoa.
I just know how your head works sometimes.
No, then wait till it comes out. I would love to hear your list one day. And we debate it. Like probably at the end of the season. Right. He got Magic number 4. Okay. Magic 4. Steph 16.
Man, just give me the top 10. That's all I want to know.
Not tonight though. We only got 5 minutes left in the podcast.
There's enough time for 10.
I would like for you to come back.
There's enough time for 10. Drop 10. Drop 1 through 10 right now.
No, don't listen to them.
Drop
Listen.
1 through 10
don't
right
do it.
now.
Don't
drop
do
it. You've already given me one of the top 10, so might as well give me the other 9. Shit.
If you're on East Coast time, we'll be back next week Wednesday.
Drop the 10
at 8:07 p.m.
Drop it.
Or
drop it. Drop it.
We'll be
drop
back
it
on
Drop
Friday.
it. Drop it.
Are we
drop
back on?
it.
Okay.
We'll be back. Top 10.
Got you. But this isn't just for him. Or we be back.
There you go. There you go.
No, we're not
Look
looking
at my man. Look at my man.
We're not looking at it. 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 We're not looking at it.
I got my phone. I got my phone, motherfucker. I got my phone.
So here we go.
I got my phone. I got my phone.
Here goes the outro.
Sorry, B.
I'm sorry.
I tried.
Boom.
Honest.
I'm still looking at it. Mike, Kareem, Braun,
All the
Magic,
bandwidth in the
Will,
world
Shaq,
couldn't keep me.
Bill, Kobe, Tim.
No lag. No lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought.
Don't worry, Brandon. We're gonna talk about your list on Friday.
Gail Gabbers. Well, maybe not the last.
I told you to save it. We can't even talk about your list right now.
New, improved MyT Podcaster. Potting down now.
We'll be back on Friday at noonish.
Last
1:30
for drinks. Bars.
Noonish.
Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast.
Instagram and whatnot.
Don't want to go
so
far.
To come on.
Listen, make sure you like the show. Make sure you like the show. You get a notification as soon as we pop back on. I'm gonna give him a couple minutes of bonus time. We got like 3 minutes left.
MyT
Sports. Don't worry, we got like about 2 minutes left of bonus time. Do a part 2. I'll call in. I'm not gonna do. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do a part 2 tonight. Like I do have to get up way too early. Early in the morning and.
He said, "Wow."
I seen that.
I like this guy. Yes.
Listen, I got 13 minutes of bonus time left, but I'm not taking it. Like calling.
Yeah, he won't even take up the 13 minutes bonus time. That's fucked up.
You can call him.
You done cut the show off super quick because he didn't want you to drop the top 10 list. But I bet had you not dropped the top 10 list, we still be on.
Only because I be trying to kill the time. So now I still find a way to kill the time. Your boy ain't worth a lousy 13. You no. What it is that 13 minutes won't give you a list justification, to be honest with you, and that's really what it really is. The time that's left in the podcast is not enough time to fully go into a top 10 list and give it its just due. Like, we'll be rushing the whole entire thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not arguing that list.
But Friday we'll be back on at 12:07. We'll be back on Monday at 12:07. And then Wednesday we have our 3-hour show because every other day is only 1 hour, maybe 2. But on Wednesdays we do a 3-hour show. We'll be back on Wednesday at 8:07 p.m. We're on 3 times a week. Listen, it's a good list. And I've saved it already. And we gonna take some time. We gonna dissect it, and we gonna talk about it.
Yeah, a list like that,
and even more so,
a list like that, you really cannot argue.
Listen, who said argue? We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We gonna break it down. We gonna debate. And also, more importantly,
you literally just said argue.
That's a debate.
Talk, debate. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
But also, I would like to see your top 50 period, because I'm already liking your list already, and I was liking your list before you drop your top 10. I was liking your list when you drop the places of
Kobe a little low for me. That's about it.
Stephen T. Smith. Listen, I got a first take cup over here. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, I got a first take cup. I've been on set. I've made it on set. Damn, that was actually last year, right before the pandemic popped off. They came down here. We were down here for
Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were down here for the
That's
Super Bowl.
how you got Patty.
Over there, yeah. That's how I got the Super Bowl. I was down here for that shit. And folks, that is officially the last bit of the podcast. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Don't forget, the easiest way to listen to the podcast is to tell your smart speaker to play the latest episode of the MyT Sports Podcast, and it'll go ahead and pop it up for you. Make sure you like and you share any podcast that you hear. Follow us on Podbean if you would like to join the conversations. We are out of here. I hope you guys continue to catch a wave that never subsides. I already played the outro, so I guess we just gotta leave.
Basically.
Bye, Podbean. Thank you guys, as always, everybody from the Podbean community that joins the podcast. I love you guys more than anything. Appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And now, let's cut this. Which Vince is this?
You off the air?
We are off the air.